officer. You know, she's gonna be jealous for you buying that.
Oh, yeah, you just had to buy that John Deere tractor, didn't ya? Go out the truck.
Sorry about that, sir. Didn't mean to start an argument. It's gonna be a dramatic, long drive home. I've been married 30-some years, so I don't have to deal with this SHIT.
Hello guys, how the heck are you? Tristan here, and today we are going to talk about the most viral TikTok videos I've put up. So I've been doing TikTok since 2020. What happened was my English teacher for my senior year introduced us to TikTok. So I made my first TikTok video about UR and, you know, the English class related stuff, right? So I started TikTok, and that's where it all began. But I've had some viral videos on TikTok that not here on YouTube. So without further ado, let's go on ahead, let's talk about it.
If you're driving and in the opposite direction you see someone flashing their high beams, that means, and let's say it's the daytime, that means that there is a speed trap ahead, and you probably should watch your speed, because otherwise, cops gonna come rolling out, gonna pull you over for speed. But by the time you already see the officer, he already has gotten you speeding. But in most case scenario, you'd have to be going 20 over for a cop to really go out of his way to pull you over. Otherwise, I mean, you know, it's either luck of the draw, I say.
Anyway, so I'm shooting this on the iPhone 17. So if you kind of see me look over to the look right, I can't even talk. You see me look right now at the screen, that's because I'm looking at the screen and not the lens directly. So I'm going to try to look at the lens to make it look like I'm using the camcorder. So what happened with the viral videos? So the first viral video that I'm going to show you is, this is something that got 36,000 views on TikTok. What it's about is, one day we were going somewhere, and there was an older Chevy truck, like early 2000s Suburban. I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but we were going down this road where it's like a mountain. You go up this hill, and it's like a main route that will take you from one part of the state into another, and there's a hill there, and this guy in this truck starts flashing his high beams, and sure enough, down the road, and that means that there's a speed trap, right? So we go down the road, and we see that there is a cop car sitting at the end of a driveway enforcing speed. And yeah, so that's why in this first TikTok, it obviously shows you about speeding. Now, in that video, I mentioned that you have to be like doing 20 over for a cop to really go out of his way to get you. That is not the case. You could be pulled over for doing less than 5 miles over the posted speed limit. And you need to take that in consideration because, well, you know, you just don't know who is behind the wheel of that police car, who is going to pull you over. And, well, I can tell you for a fact that you can get pulled over for doing less than 5 miles over the speed limit. And as much as doing 5 over or 10 over seems to be more easygoing for the drivers, it ain't going to be easy for you because you're the one that's going to get stopped. The driver behind you is going to get charged for tailgating because they're the ones tailgating you. So if you're ever in that situation where someone's tailgating you and they want you to go faster, let them tailgate, because a cop might just get them for tailgating. And if they start a road rage incident with you or whatever the case might be, well, at least you weren't speeding. So yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, yeah, so that whole little part, make sure that you always doing the speed limit. Doesn't matter if someone's behind you, tailgating you, whatever, because, you don't want to get stopped. So yeah.
So I snapped a friend of mine, and, I'm like, what's up? And they said, HM. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to be nice to you, and that's how you're going to treat me?
Okay, so this next one, this one is the whole HM thing. So what happened was I had a friend that messaged me HM, which they don't even know what that even means. So I asked people on TikTok what that means. So a whole bunch of comments came through, basic answers, but that video went viral as well. And it actually got a lot of views. So yeah, that one was viral. And then this recent one, this was recent. This was like, I don't know, like anyway, this one was recent. What happened is I made a video. This was just recent, like 1,000 views on TikTok. I had made a video about fuel switching sound in my Jeep, right? It's coming from right behind the air vent controls and where the passenger side is. Well, a lot of people say it's the AC drain thing. A lot of people said check the coolant level. So yesterday I went out there and checked the coolant, and the coolant's pretty low, so I'm going to have to go get that done, but, I just don't want to have to keep running the shop for every little thing, so...
So I commented on Jody's video, right? And I commented on Jody's video because this woman said that that Jody was her enemy, right? And she said that this woman is my enemy. She legitimately believes that it's necessary for buses to always stop both lanes of traffic. This is what this woman commented. So, me being the TikTok creator that I am, I responded to that video, and I basically just told her about, like why school bus laws are the way they are. You just got to accept it, right? If there's both, you guys know the standard school bus laws and that kind of stuff that you're supposed to follow, right? As like everybody else, both directions stop. If there's an adjacent lane right next to that busted stop, I don't need to explain the school bus laws. If you want to know the school bus laws, you can just Google search them yourself. It's pretty easy to understand. It's not hard to understand at all, essentially. But here's what happened. When I responded to that video, that woman that commented on sent me a response that was like in different parts. Like there was at least like, I don't know, like let me see. When she made the comment on that video, she had at least like 12 out of 13. She left about like 12, 13 comments with this statement here that she commented on my video. I'm like, why are you commenting all that, So anyway, let me read you what she said. She said, there is a difference between your actions and words. Believe. I don't give a D
what Jody does at her job. She supports measures that are not supported by evidence. Your comment about the medians has nothing to do with what I'm saying. I don't know what you're on about. The death of occupants in school buses are incredibly rare. They are usually related to misconduct like drunk driving. From 2012 to 2022, the single digit deaths of occupants in school buses were reported. How many were killed outside of school buses? 47,000 in 2022 alone. There is no evidence-based benefit to having drivers stop at the reds every time. Are you transporting preschoolers? Yeah. You probably need extra precautions. High schoolers know not to walk into oncoming traffic despite them. It should be the driver's discretion to use this, not forced. But Jody defends it as a universal necessity. Jody parrots platitudes like all safety rules are written in blood without understanding what that means. That's why I hate her, because people who don't have the statistical understanding to make their claims are my enemy. So this is what this woman wrote, right? Now, the grammar's off a little bit and the wording is off, but if you're that smart to know words like platitude and statistical, you should know how to properly type. But that is beyond the point here, okay? I don't know what all this was about. I don't know why this person decided to comment that in like 12 different comments on that video, on a TikTok video, but it was kind of ridiculous. Like, all I was telling you was, yes, you have to stop in both directions. Now, what this person said about that stop every time, you have to stop. There is no question about it. If a school bus had its lights on and the reds are flashing, you are supposed to stop every time. And if you don't like it, then you can complain to who made those laws. Don't be exploding on people who are defending the fact that you are supposed to stop. And the answer is yes, you are supposed to stop. I'm not saying that, about all this statistic stuff. I can tell you, when I was growing up and I went to school, I had drivers who didn't stop. Bus drivers laying on the horn. There has been cars early in the morning, at like 6 o'clock in the morning, who have nothing but their park lights on, and they blew the reds. They could have ran and hit people. So there is no reason why somebody would go through the reds on a school bus. The ones that do that are the part of the problem here. All right, there's no question about it. When them red lights are on, you are supposed to be stopped. Stopped. Okay? And that is why I made that TikTok explaining to this woman that yes, you have to stop every time. Now, it doesn't matter what type of students you're transporting. It doesn't matter what the statistics are of how many people have died outside school buses. The point is, you're supposed to stop. You're supposed to stop for a reason. They then come in here like, oh, well, I hate Jody. Hate's a strong word. You're not helping the matters by saying that you hate Jody. Jody's a school bus driver just like everybody else in this world, right? When you see a school bus stopped, you are supposed to stop. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter how you feel.
I mean, obviously, I must have struck a nerve with you because you had enough effort to go and comment all this on my video. Now, I get what you're saying. You disagree with why things are the way they are. But part of understanding is not flipping out and commenting all this stuff on someone's videos just telling you that you need to stop. Because I can tell you, it happens all. The only thing that should be at your discretion is whether if you slam on the brakes on the road and you get rear-ended, right? That must be where you're trying to go off from. You don't want to get rear-ended. You know, you're afraid you're going to get rear-ended if you stop for the school bus. If you get rear-ended, well, that's what happens, right? You can get rear-ended at any given time on the road. It doesn't matter if you're stopping for the school bus or not. All right? You know, the point is that you're driving a vehicle at over 25 miles an hour. Anything could happen in the blink of an eye. Crashes can happen. I mean, I'm telling you. I'm not saying that, you know, I mean, if you're worried that you're going to get rear-ended for stopping for a school bus, it happens. There's nothing more else I can say. You know, the best thing that you can do is buy yourself a dash cam. And if you get rear-ended while stopping for a school bus, then you just show it to your insurance that, hey, I got rear-ended while stopping for a school bus. Guess what they're going to do? They take it in their hands. There's no reason to go on this rant about how you hate Jody and that, you know, you don't feel like you should stop every time for a school bus. The point is, it's the law. You're supposed to stop for a school bus. If you don't stop for a school bus, you know, first of all, it's illegal. Bus driver write down your license plate and turn you in. Or a cop might witness that as well. It might decide to pull you over, right? I mean, there is no question about it. These parents get so livid when people don't stop for the school bus. And when it comes to their children and traffic, they are going to defend their child than you. They don't care if you don't want to stop for a school bus every time. It's because you are required to. You know what I mean? There is no excuse for why you don't want to stop for a school bus. You know, and coming into my comment section and just leaving this long comment when my whole purpose wasn't to get into this. It was just to explain, yeah, you're supposed to stop. It doesn't matter. And then you say that Jody's the enemy. She ain't the enemy. She's just trying to, you know, make you understand that, yeah, you're supposed to stop. There is no question about it, okay? School bus laws are the school bus laws. When the bus has its reds on, you are supposed to stop. There is no question about it. You know? And, I mean, realistically speaking, like I said, parents don't take it too kindly when somebody doesn't stop for the school bus. You know, I mean, nobody will take it kindly. There is no reason. I mean, if you're in a rush to go somewhere, then you use measures to get to your destination on time. There's no reason to be impatient. If you don't want to, if you're worried that you're not going to be able to get to work on time or something because of the school bus, well, leave earlier. Take a different route. Don't be like, oh, well, we don't need to stop every time. Yeah, if you're transporting preschoolers, yeah, you probably need extra precautions. There is no extra precautions. Even as a high schooler, even anything, doesn't matter. You're supposed to stop, right? I'm pretty sure people watching this video right now can agree with me that there is no reason for it. Now,
Jody's Jody. She decides what she wants to talk about on TikTok. But I can tell you this, okay? Stop means stop. All right? If you're in a rush, you use measures to get yourself to work on time. But don't be acting like you don't have to stop for a school bus every time. It's for a good reason why you're supposed to stop for a school bus. And there's nothing else to say to that. All I'm telling you is that you have to stop. I mean, you can't be those people blowing past school buses all the time because you don't want to stop every time. I mean, yeah, getting rear-ended while stopped for a school bus might be a concern, but as I told you, that's a different matter. That has nothing to do with the school bus. I mean, yeah. I mean, are you going to make the argument that you're not supposed to stop at red lights because you think that there's no reason to stop at red lights or whatever the case might be? Because you're in a rush or you're afraid about getting rear-ended? Like I said, that stuff can happen anyway. That's a different matter. But my whole point of that TikTok was to say that you are required to stop for a school bus. There is no question about it. But yeah, you just had to come in here and type all this stuff. And I understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to express yourself. All right, I'm saying you have the right to share your concerns. But the bottom line is you're supposed to stop for a school bus. And if you're in a rush, leave earlier. Use measures to get yourself to where you need to be on time. I mean, it's the law. And people who don't abide by the traffic laws are the ones that causes these accidents. So yeah. With that being said, the ones that cause the accidents are the ones that don't follow the laws. Okay? So, as I said, I get what you're saying here. I understand you have the right to express yourself. You have the right to, say it. But I just think it was a little bit uncalled for you to come in the comments section and just go to town on this. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm just saying is that you don't have to hate Jody. You don't have to say that she's your enemy. She's a school bus driver. She does what her job entails. And, there's just nothing else to really say here. But, I mean, now as for the whole written in blood kind of thing, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, you'd have to see what Jody's talking about here. But the whole point is the rules are the rules. You have to follow them. You know what I mean? And that is why I said that, you have to stop for the school bus. There is no question about it. I mean, the only benefit is you're keeping people safe. Because, yeah, as I've said, I've had people run reds all the time. I mean, it is something that always happens. But, as I said, you have to stop. And anyone that doesn't stop, intentionally doesn't stop, they should, in fact, get its ticket for passing that stop bus. Because if you are intentionally running those reds, then yeah, you are your own enemy. And you are the enemy of the parents. You are the enemy of the bus driver. You are an enemy of all things that mean safety. All because you're in a rush or you feel like the law doesn't apply to you or anything of that nature. it's on you if you run those reds. That's all I'm saying. You run those reds, you're violating the law. That's all I'm saying. So, with that being said, you have to stop. You want to know what the school bus laws are? You can go search them up. But I can tell you this, if you're required to stop for school buses, you must stop. So, with that being said, that is what this is all about. So, anyway, let's go ahead and let's move on. All right, people. I know I got a little bit fired up in that, but yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why someone would, make a big deal out of that. I mean, I wasn't like saying that this woman didn't have the right to express herself or saying that Jody's bad or whatever the case might be. All I'm just saying is that you have to stop for school buses. There isn't any other question beyond that. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, I'm just done talking about that. You know what I mean? You're supposed to stop, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. You're supposed to stop. All right? It ain't worth somebody going on here and ranting about, about what I said about, I was just telling this woman, hey, you're supposed to stop, right? But no, I had to drag it out and leave a big old comment and all kinds of stuff. So, that's just the way it is. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching today's video. I just want to let thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video. See ya.